Max built the elephant, dude. That's how he beat me. Let's see what I just got my ass beat by.
This is the elephant. So,
By the way, I want to start this conversation off by saying fuck sins.
You ready for this, Coooley?
Yeah, okay. 18K traps. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this build is what you might expect. It's a 65 cast build that has Griffins, fastest in the offhand, a Plague main hand with 25 attack speed from a Mortal King set, so it hits 45.
You beat me with a Mortal King set.
Yes, I have DK and Sona Jordan, so I'm pretty much max damage. The only way that you can get more damage is if you use a 6 Light Sentry, 2 facets for the attack speed claw, put 2 facets in there, and then use Blood Fists, and that's like the high budget version of the elephant.
Oh,
that
man.
will actually hit 20k traps. So you can actually get 20k traps in this current patch.
Wow.
It's kind of nuts. This is the budget version. I use Plague and a Mortal King set to make up for the fact that I don't have a 70k claw. But yeah, it works. It's very high life, base stats, you know, and I had my cube with another fast weapon. So that's why you got hit really hard for the first duel.
Hold up. Let me move my dumbass over here so that
yeah, so the very first matchup, I had a cube in my inventory, and I used these weapons, which give a roughly the same damage with more facets. Of course, I lose weapon block, so it's better to fight on claws, but I can set these traps. And these are very, very sneaky because the traps actually retain the data when they're cast. So if I cast these traps, they're slow as fuck, but they're not my claw traps. They keep the facet bonus when I switch back to claws. So I could be dueling without ever revealing that I have these on. And yeah, I just had some traps there that you had no idea what it was. It wasn't infinity, but they tore you apart. And then you put on a lot of resist. And I was like, well, now they're useless. I'm going back to 18k traps and putting on a CTA and Spiriton swap.
You like how I figured that out, huh? I was like,
well,
he might be on a fucking elephant.
It's kind of obvious, you know.
I was like, he might be on an elephant. I remember you told me about that build and I laughed at it, but then when I got hit by those traps, I was like, this motherfucker's on an elephant.
Yeah. I mean, there was that pub game that I melted you, so I knew you were aware of these strategies. So, and I do have an infinity, but that's so risky against a charger. I don't think it's worth doing against your build.
I was hoping you pull. I was hoping you used it. I was like, please don't fucking claw block my charge. Like, that's the biggest thing. I had so many good charges in there, but just all of them got claw blocked.
Yeah, and the spec is pretty much nothing out of the ordinary for a trapper. The only thing that I did different is that I knew that you like running an IDR helm, so I did not bother maxing Mind Blast. I just put enough points to make Shadow Cast it a bit more.
Ever since we banned, fun fact about Cooley's Dins, ever since we banned mana pools, I have not run IDR. I think it's pointless because a sin shouldn't be Mind Blasting
you didn't
so
have
much.
IDR? Okay, in that case, I should have maxed it because I would have been pinging you down a little bit. But I just assumed you would run IDR, so I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to go for a little bit higher block and get as much DR as possible.
Yeah, I had 7 IDR.
Yeah, so that was a little bit of metagaming specifically for you, but everything else is this elephant sin that I've been running in pub games, and 18k traps is, you know, it's a lot. I've been melting absorbers.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, and the only problem is that, well, you know, it's 65 cast. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's if you're fine playing slower sins and you don't like people absorbing you, this is an option.
Wow, that's so crazy, man. I love it that you have a Berserker Axe with 6 light facets in it. That shit is nuts, dude.
Fun story. Originally I made one of these in a face blade for trap speed.
Yeah.
And I was using it on a build that had higher stats. But when I decided to respec against you, I was like, I really can't risk having lower health because you're going to hit like a truck. So I put everything in Vitality. And I had another weapon that actually somebody tossed in a pub game, like randomly. Somebody was chucking gear. And I'm like, you know what? I can use this in case I ever go base stats. But this is not optimal. Actually, this should be a War Spike because that'll give me better trap speeds. So at some point, I'm gonna upgrade this to a War Spike. And this is a weapon I can use when I'm statted higher. Like if I'm a max block trapper or something, this is a swap you can use. But yeah, this is the elephant. And GG's Coooley, you got smacked by a Mortal King set.
You know what? If I was going to get smacked by any player running Immortal Kings, I'd be offended if it wasn't you.